Hello, all you wonderful listeners that come here for our wonderful, smooth, sultry voices.
I'm Laz. I eat rice with my pinky finger, well, both my pinky fingers, and I'm in China.
And I'm Cody, and I eat lots of cheeseburgers with both of my hands in America. And we're not just across the pond, but we're across the other
pond. The show where we slap a lollipop. Yeah, that's not a very good one. I couldn't think of anything. But anyway, so today we are talking about voice acting. We're going to get straight into the topic.
Yeah, we've talked about anime a lot on this show, and the thing that drives anime in the background is how good the voice acting is. So I think it'll be really fun to talk about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm actually not very knowledgeable on this subject, but I can throw my 2 cents in there. Maybe it's just 1 cent, actually.
Yeah? You just keep 1 cent jangling around in your pocket?
Yeah, 1 cent jangling around pocket, just hoping for those Mars bars to be a penny again. Go down to Mr. O'Leary's place. I don't even know where that... I don't know where that trope is from. I remember ever since I was a kid, I don't know what happened one day. I probably heard it from some cartoon, but I remember it's like there's like a little kid and then an old man. It's like giving the kid a reward of like a dime, and it is like, come on, all right, little Billy, you've been a good boy. Why don't you you take this dime and go down to Mr. O'Leary's and buy yourself a Mars bar. That's been on my mind for like years. I don't know why. What is that from?
Little Billy and Mr. O'Leary's.
Yeah, Mr. O'Leary's gonna get a Mars bar. I've never had a Mars bar.
I don't think I've ever had a Mars bar either. Do they still exist?
What? I would imagine.
I feel like, because the Mars company owns a fuck ton of candies, but the Mars bar itself is like unknown to me. Something I've never experienced. There's something I don't know. Exactly. I've never had a Mars bar.
Well, I remember watching Food Network when I was a kid, and there was a program about different candies throughout history, and one of them was talking about Mars, the Mars company's candies, and one of the first ones, of course, is the Mars bar, and I forgot what was in it.
I think it might be just caramel and chocolate. And maybe nougat.
I don't know.
That sounds like something that would be a Mars bar.
Nougat. Is that what you say? You say nougat?
I say nougat.
Nougat. I don't know. That sounds really weird to me. Nougat.
Nougat.
I've never heard anybody say
nougat. I don't know.
I've never heard anybody say it as nougat.
Let's get a little bit more on topic though.
But wait. No, I want to say one more thing.
Okay, one more thing.
Candy bars are a little like Mexican food sometimes to me. It just seems like different combinations of chocolate, nougat, and caramel sometimes.
You're totally right. And then sometimes you add in peanuts.
Peanuts, yeah. In the, Mexican foods, it's just different combinations of meat, cheese, and tortillas.
Yes,
or flour,
and rice.
Actually. Yeah. Yeah, well, rice sometimes, right? It's I don't know, it gets boring. I haven't had a chocolate bar in 3 years, I think.
That's a really long time. I think I had a chocolate bar last week. Nope. Actually, it might have been a little bit longer than that now that I think about it.
There's not really a lot of super sweet things here. I had I had a sea salt ice cream yesterday with a coconut. What would you call it? A coconut cone.
Coconut foam?
It was really good.
That's very fancy.
Cone.
Sorry. Cone.
Yeah.
That's not because you broke up. It's because I can't hear you. My ears are bad.
Yeah. But I mean, it was an interesting experience, and yeah. There wasn't. Was there anything else that was interesting that went on yesterday? Oh well, I had Xinjiang food, which was pretty interesting. It's like, China has like a province in the what is it? The northwest. That's pretty much like you go to it and you feel like you're in the Middle East.
Oh, that's kind of neat.
I guess it is. Yeah, it's a real, and the food is all like we ordered a rack of lamb, and they just gave us like a big old lamb leg, and we just like passed it between each other and just had like big giant bites of meat.
I imagine it's like a bigger version of one of the turkey legs you find at the Renaissance Festival.
Yeah. Well, not a bigger. It was smaller.
Smaller than that?
Like,
okay.
Yeah, it just like.
But same idea as meat on a stick.
I mean, isn't that what mutton is?
Yes, mutton is lamb.
So a mutton chop, like I think that's what a mutton chop is. It's just that big old rack, like
big old rack of lamb.
Oh,
that big old rack of lamb.
Why did I say leg lamb? It should be lamb leg.
I think leg of lamb has been said before. I think that's common.
Oh, but I didn't
in literature.
see. I didn't put the of. I didn't
just
put
lamb
the
leg
of
or
in
leg
between.
lamb.
I just put leg lamb. Leg lamb. I don't know what the. I see. The thing is, if you say leg lamb, it's emphasizing the leg part, so it means like there's something going on with that lamb's legs. Maybe it has more legs than usual. Maybe you got like a 10-legged lamb just like slithering about.
Some scientist in mid-America is hastily jotting down our names and addresses because we've caught onto his 10-leg lamb theme.
Man, that would be kind of crazy. Well, I was just thinking, like, so snakes slither, but how about centipedes? They don't slither, right?
They walk. They have legs.
Well, yeah, but they have like 1,000 legs. Like, what are you
still legs? I think it's like I think I've heard that centipedes and stuff are like locomoting. They're like a train.
Oh. But, I mean, that sounds cool. Locomoting? Okay, like, if... But see, the thing is, though, that doesn't, like, pair very well with the action itself. It doesn't look cool. It looks kind of creepy.
Well, yeah.
How they move. So, I feel like there should be a creepy word for it. I mean, like, snake slither. That's a creepy kind of word. Stepping. But that's cute. Like, we can't. It's like, oh, those centipedes tiny stepping about. It's like you got these two different extremes here. You got cute, which is tiny stepping. And it's like you think about it. It's like, oh, little kittens tiny stepping about. That sounds cute. Oh my god, that sounds adorable. And then locomoting.
You know what? You know who tiny
awesome.
Step? Sorry, millipedes. Tiny step.
Millipedes, but millipedes. I don't know. Millipedes, centipedes. I mean, centipedes are creepier than millipedes.
They are
right?
100% creepier, dude. Fuck centipedes.
Because centipedes have those legs that are like, they're like spiky, or
yeah, they have like
how
those.
Would you
I think those are false legs, honestly. Like they're those really long side things. I think that's just to make them look fucking creepy. Yeah. I think they have little legs underneath.
And then millipedes, they just kind of like their leg is kind of like almost like flutter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It does this like wavy thing when they walk.
Okay. We're way off topic.
Oh, that reminds me of one more story just about millipedes. Can I tell this story?
Sure,
like, I don't remember
yeah.
where I heard it. I heard it somewhere, and it's really interesting. Like, the story of the millipede is interesting. It's like, it was like there was in the beginning there was like an animal with just 2 feet, and then it was walking about and it was going slow and whatnot, and then one day it saw a horse, and then it was like, whoa, the horse has 4 feet and I only have 2. And then it's like, God, please give me as many feet as possible so I can be the fastest animal on the planet. And then he's like, well, okay, whatever, and just gave him a whole bunch of feet, and then just like on the ground, and the animal just picked up all the feet and put it on its body, and then it realized, oh, even though I have thousands of legs, I can't move that fast. Yeah. I think that's pretty much the story. But that's like the millipede. Too much of a good thing. Yeah, like I don't know. I don't remember where I heard it, and I don't know what tradition it's from. But it's just like, the whole story of like, less is more. More doesn't mean better. Kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a good story.
Going into voice acting now.
And real thing. Okay, I'm going to phrase this question to you so that we can really get into the topic. When you think of, like, great voice acting, do you think of English voice actors or Japanese voice actors first?
To be honest, I can't think of either or.
No, but when you listen to something, do you find it more natural when English speakers are talking as voice actors or Japanese? Or any other language?
It depends on It depends on the context. Like, I'm most familiar with English and Japanese voice acting, and then Chinese voice acting. I mean, I kind of have a slight grasp on different concepts of Chinese voice acting, but of course, I'm most familiar with English voice acting. Yeah. So, like, but the thing is, I wouldn't be able to give you my expert opinion on what is what and what's going on there.
Okay, well, here's why I posed the question, because I feel like the Japanese voice actors have an entirely different, and Japanese studios have an entirely different way of recording their stuff. Japanese voice actors tend to all be in the same room when they record, if they're having group sessions. So you have this very natural flow of conversation because they're actually having that conversation, recording it. Whereas English voice actors, most of the time the studios just have them record their own separate parts. Consistently, you'll find that if you go into like the behind the scenes of voice acting stuff, it's always just the one person in the studio and they're having the conversation by themselves. And a lot of the times I feel it comes really stilted because you can tell where their line ends and the other person gets cut in instead of just them talking. That's something I really noticed that happens a lot, especially in dubs and stuff. Which the reason that I really wanted to talk about voice acting is I've been listening to Critical Role, which is a D&D real actual play run by Matt Mercer and a bunch of his voice actor friends that do a ton of voice acting stuff all over the place. Matt Mercer's been in a ton of anime. Travis Willingham is Roy Mustang in Full Metal Alchemist. And there's a bunch of other people, and they're all really good actors, and they do voices. But it's a stream, so they're like you can see them. But if I'm not looking, and Matt's the dungeon master, so he does all the different voices for NPCs and stuff, he literally disappears as a person to me if I'm not watching, because he can go into another voice, and I'm like, who is that? That's somebody else in the room. Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, dude. Like some of these people, like their voices are. Like they change their voices so dramatically that like you can't.
Like you can even change the timbre or the timbre of your voice, where like it resonates differently, and like that blows my mind.
Like I remember I was watching a video of a guy randomly just on YouTube that was made in like 2008 or something. But then, like he was giving a tutorial of how to make the girl voice. You know what I'm saying? The girl voice, like we have guy voices, but girls are like
Yeah, they're really this high-pitched, really fluty voice.
But the thing is, when he did it, like, let me think. It was he went through every step of how to make the girl voice, and he was talking about like how you had to change your, what is it, the pharyngeal or something? Like, there's something in the back of your throat. It's like a flap.
Yeah, I think it might be flagellum.
He was talking about how you had to bring that up more, and then you had to make you don't go into falsetto. You go to the top limit of your voice, but you don't want to go into what is it called again? Why did I just forget how to say it? Falsetto. Yeah. And he just step by step, layer by layer, really turned into a girl. It was like totally different than his regular voice. All of a sudden, he was just like a girl, and it was just so weird for me to hear that. It's amazing how people can do that. I mean, like, even the only person that I can think of when I think of voice acting is Aaron Hansen. You know?
Yeah, Aaron's a very good voice actor.
But even then, you can hear his voice kind of coming through each character. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he has his own distinct like style of voice that he kind of carries over to all of his characters. But he has before shown in Game Grumps that he is really, really good at it too, because he can like shift into another person.
Yeah, he can shift his personality and whatnot. I just feel like the timbre, he still keeps a certain Aaronish timbre to his voice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then there's people like the girl that does the Pikachu voice. That is amazing to me. You know? Have you ever listened to the girl that does the Pikachu voice?
Getting your voice to do such crazy stuff is like a true art, because I imagine that they just hang around their house and just make funny voices, like to prep for roles and stuff. That's all I can picture.
I do that all the time, like talking to people. Like, I
think the best voice actors have like a really wide range, but I think there are those that just like Archer and Bob and Bob's Burgers. That's just H. John Benjamin, the same voice. Like I decided not to change my voice.
He doesn't even do that voice. That's just his regular voice.
Yeah, that's just his voice.
Yeah, like, because it's weird to hear him. Like, you've grown up watching those shows, and then all of a sudden you watch a video. Like, have you ever seen the video of him making a jazz album without knowing how to play jazz?
Oh yeah, I loved that album. Oh my god, that was so funny.
That was the greatest thing. Like, it was great that he started that documentary off without telling you you just like, oh, he's a jazz. I didn't know he was a jazz musician. And then he's in the studio, and then he's doing like a solo. Like they trade off a solo to him, and then he's like, yeah,
But it's just like him
piano.
fucking around on piano.
Yeah,
before
that got me so weak.
That's such a neat idea, because jazz is so freeform. Not all jazz, but that like you could make jazz like that. But and then sometimes it still sounded good because he was being carried by such great jazz musicians in the studio.
But you know, the thing is, like, listening to his voice there, it's just all of a sudden it's like, man, it just doesn't seem real, you know? It's like your brain doesn't want to make his voice real. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing for me when I hear the girl that does the Pikachu voice. Have you?
I've never watched her do
that interview. Oh my god, it's so weird. It's so weird because she's just talking, and then they're like, "Oh, can you do the Pikachu voice for us?" And then she goes, "Pikachu," and then it's like, "Oh!" Everyone in the audience just loses their shit.
That's fucking nuts.
Like, oh my god, that's kawaii desu. You know? But like, yeah.
I was gonna say
it just doesn't seem real.
Yeah, it's completely incredible. Fuck, what was I gonna say?
Mm-hmm. that's how I feel.
I think the peak of voice acting is to take two characters that you've voiced before and get one character to talk imitating your other character. I have heard that is the hardest thing for any voice actor to actually do, is to take one character and imitate one of their other characters. And
really?
The guy who did all the Looney Tunes, like Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, he was able to do that like perfectly. And I watched an interview with the Simpsons guy who does a lot of the voices in The Simpsons. And he was like, every time I try to do that, it just turns into the one character pretending to be like it's just me going into the other accent. It's not this other character imitating another character. And I was like, wow, that must be really, really difficult to think about, because that's like turning your brain like 3 times to do the right voice.
That's interesting. Like, I never thought about that, because what it makes me think of is like how I can do different accents in different languages. You know, like for instance, if I want to do like, see, I can't do a Chinese accent in English. That's one thing that I can't do. I don't know why I can't do it.
But in Chinese, you have your Chinese accent.
Well, yeah, in Chinese, I speak with just a regular standard Chinese accent. You know, I don't speak like an American speaking Chinese, which if you want to hear an American speaking Chinese, it's interesting because yesterday we watched a movie with an actress from Hong Kong that was half American, half Hong Kongese, I guess you can say. But like she was speaking Mandarin throughout the movie, and her accent was very, very American. It was like
very interesting,
really weird to listen to. But I can also do like an American accent in Chinese, like an American just starting to learn Chinese kind of accent. But then I can do the Russian accent very well. In English and in Chinese. Like if I wanted to speak Chinese, I can do this too. 我是俄罗斯人，现在我说中文，因为我现在就在中国。Yeah. No, but like, and I can do it in. I think I can do it in Cantonese too, if I want it. Let me see if I can do a Russian accent in Cantonese. That's hard. That's really hard, actually, because I'm not really good in Cantonese yet. But like, see, that's when you were talking about that accent thing, like imitating another accent through the voice of another character, it made me think of that. You know, like trying, but I don't think it's the same. I don't think it's the same, because it's like I'm just using a different logic to use this on the same set of sounds, you know? Like it doesn't, I think it's much different, you know? Because if I'm thinking about like that concept, I would think that what you need to do is you'd have to like in a split second realize both characters, you know, most
I mean, it's just like making your brain work in a really strange way.
Well, I think like you would have to in a split second know what I
keep losing you. I think
both character. No, I think it's just because I'm trying to figure out what to say, and I'm just stuttering a bit, you know. But like so you have two characters, and they have special traits, right?
Yes.
So you in a split second you have to realize what trait is best for what character, and then see how you can mix them together and still keep it based in the character that's imitating the other character. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying, because it's the idea that you have to take somebody else's voice and then apply that voice to another voice. And for it sound like the second voice and not your just original voice going to the third voice, like skipping over parts of it.
Yeah, think about like trying to imitate me imitating you, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't know where to begin.
It's like, if I want to do that, I'd be like, hey, I'm Cody Slosher, and yeah, I don't know where to begin. It's just like, see, it's like, when I think of like imitating your voice, it's just like, just, yeah. my Fanfan just came in and gave me some tea.
Oh, very nice.
But like, yeah, but like, you know, like when I think of your voice, I kind of, I don't know what I do. It's like it's like gets a little more nasally, and then you just kind of cut things up like this, and then it's just like, you know, you know what I'm saying? It's like your vocal patterns have this kind of like little choppy-ish kind of quality to it. You know what I'm saying? Huh? Hello?
I think you're cutting out on me again.
Oh, okay, that was the first time that I heard it cut out. But you didn't hear what I said then, right?
No, I missed most of it.
But like, so your vocal patterns are kind of like a little choppy.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here.
No, I'm saying like your normal voice, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, you got this kind of
staccato.
Well, it's not, yeah, it's staccato. That's a better way of saying it. It's like very staccato, and it's just like I'm not sure how to say it. I can imitate it, but it's hard for me to describe, you know? But think about that, trying to imitate me imitating you, you know? That's already pretty hard, I think.
Yeah, and that's like two real voices that we can listen to over and over again and analyze. And I still that's insane.
Mm-hmm. I think for to imitate a character, like imitating characters is one thing I just don't understand at all. I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I've never been that good at impressions. That's another like facet of voice acting that's insane, is to imitate a real life person that you can just listen to and then be like, that is my voice now, as I can just copy that voice.
See, the only thing I can do is like imitate accents. I can imitate an accent, but I can't imitate a certain voice, you know? Like if I want to do a British accent, I can do this. But I wouldn't be able, if you told me, okay, imitate Michael Caine, you know, I would just be like, I'm Michael Caine. You know, like, have you ever seen that interview? There's also a video of Michael Caine, like, imitating how other people imitate him.
Yes, how other people imitate Michael Caine.
Yeah, it's like, I'm Michael Caine.
That was really bad. Oh. Michael Caine. Michael Caine. Michael Caine. I think. I wonder if there's like a chart for like people aspiring to be voice actors of like voices to try to get that are like archetypal voices, because I feel like there is a set archetype of a voice that you can be like, this is this general type of voice, and then you can nuance it when you get good. But if you can do this voice, you can get somewhere.
Yeah, I think there's probably something like that. You know, for instance, like I just said about that guy imitating the girl voice, and then you can probably go from there.
There's like a base
and then do other girl
female
voices
voice to go off of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never thought about that actually. But see, that's the great thing about Google. You think of an idea like this, and then you ask our Lord Google if there's anything relevant to that topic, you know, and then you just go down that road.
Yeah, just hop along the Google trail.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So it's I don't know, I think voice acting would be really interesting to get into, but at the same time, like, I don't know, I think it would be a hard industry.
I think it'd be a fun thing to do. It was something that actually, when I was younger, I really wanted to be a voice actor. I thought it would be a really good gig.
Really? Mm-hmm.
When I look at what people have to do now, I'm like, oh, that's a lot of work to be a voice actor.
But isn't every job a lot of work?
True, it is. Every job's a lot of work. I feel like entertainment jobs are more work than just getting hired to go to work, because you have to like,
yeah,
you have to, number one, be very, very good at your craft because you're competing with thousands of other people. Number two, you have to audition for every role you get in, so you're again competing with all these people that are really good at it.
Mm-hmm.
It's above and beyond my like ambitions to be that ambitious. I know I wouldn't cut it.
Well, I mean, like, the thing is, like, how I see it now is, like, get a job that's stable, and then on the side, have your side hustle that's more, you know, more in tune with your dreams. And then, like, and then one day if you hit it, if you can make it with that, just make that your regular job, you know? You have your stable job, and then you can slowly morph it into what job you want, actually, you know?
Yeah, you could look at it that way. I mean, I don't want to be a voice actor anymore. That was something that I really wanted to do when I was younger, but as I've grown up, I'm like, that's not my thing. I don't really want to do that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
It's fun to do it as a DM though on the side. It's like a hobby.
Yeah, DM.
But all those jobs like that require so much effort and stuff, I just don't have the drive to do it. I recognize that.
Wait, well, would you?
I respect everybody who does.
Would you do something? If you had a chance to be a professional DM or something that had to do with that, would you take it over your job right now?
No, honestly, I've thought about that already. And I've looked into pro DM stuff. And I'm like, that's such a cool idea, but it's so much like being a professional DM. Number one, got to be good at voices. Well, you don't have to be good at voices, but it becomes right now. It's fun to me because I'm the one making it for people that I enjoy having in the party. If I make people pay me to do it, I have to make sure that they are having a good time before I'm having a good time. It's more important when they're paying me that they are all having a good time. And that is a lot more like pressure on me. Not that I don't think I could do it, but I feel like I would burn out of being a DM like immediately.
I see what you're saying. You would lose a lot of the passion in there, right?
Yeah, and that's exactly kind of what I see in a lot of those entertainment things is that if it became my career, I would lose the fun part of it.
Well, I mean, would there be a job that you would rather do than the one you have right now?
That I don't think so.
Would
I
be
like
fun IT. And you like IT?
I have a pretty good balance between challenging and relaxing in my current position.
Yeah. I think that's what I need. Well, I mean, I haven't even gotten out of school yet, so I can't really talk about this as much as you.
School is good and challenging, though.
Yeah. School is, especially when you're in another country doing it all in a different language.
Yeah, doing it completely in Chinese. I bet it is very challenging.
Yeah. But anyway, we should go back to get back into voice acting again. Is there anything else you would like to say? Like, I have to just go off of what you say here, because, like, a lot of stuff. Not so.
Okay, so I've read a little bit. I want to shift over to kind of Japanese voice acting, like traditional anime and stuff, because we've talked a lot about people that do American voice acting. I haven't read too much about Japanese, but I've read that it is much more of a passion project in Japan to be a voice actor. Like, being a young new voice actor, you don't really get paid like anything. So to continue on doing it until you're like a professional is like very, very difficult is what I've heard. But so many Japanese voice actors are so really good, are so good at what they do.
Yeah.
And like a lot of them are iconic. Like Dio's voice acting is, I'm like, that's Dio. I can pick that voice out anywhere. I love it.
I don't know. For me, it's hard to. I mean, in languages that I don't understand, it's hard for me to hear the different voices. You know. Like if I hear, I mean, like some voices, like, you know, Luffy's voice and what is it? Yeah, I think I can only think of Luffy's voice that I can probably pick out. But other voices, nah. It just all sounds like nothing to me. You know?
That's really interesting.
I don't understand Japanese.
Even when I don't understand the language completely, I still like kind of pick up on the different voice actors. I'll be like, I think I recognize them from another series. Like these people have their like niche voices that they use.
I can't do that. It's all just nonsense to me. It just sounds like a jumble of noise to me a lot of times. I do like watching subs over dubs though. Like I like it's something about it, I don't know what, but is just more enticing to me. But sometimes I do like, there are some good dubs though. There are some good dubs too.
I hadn't thought about that. I mean, I have thought about that before, that like when you don't understand the language, you kind of lose the nuances of the voice. You know, because that happens in other languages that I've listened to. When you listen to like Middle Eastern languages, I hear that a lot in my regular day around the school and stuff. It just sounds like I never know when a sentence ends in those languages.
Yeah, it just sounds like
it just sounds like they go on forever.
Yeah, you know, like I mean, like for me, Japanese, Korean, and like I don't know them, but I can at least I feel like I know where a sentence ends and where, like, it just, I've heard at least Japanese enough where I can pick out some words and I can know where the sentence is supposed to end, you know. But like with other languages, I mean, especially like Middle Eastern.
I'm still losing you, so I'm kind of losing my mind now.
Oh, okay. But yeah, like I said, like
what's causing
Middle Eastern languages still, yeah, it's hard for me to understand what's going on in the least bit there. But what was I going to say just now? It was like, yeah, it's kind of like, to me, it's kind of like different faces in different races sometimes. Like, you know, like, in the beginning, if you're not very used to seeing Chinese people, it's very easy it's hard to distinguish people's faces, you know. Everyone just looks the same in the beginning, you know. But then, and even now, it's hard for me to distinguish people's faces sometimes because I'm just not used to the Chinese facial structure and whatnot. But now it's a lot easier for me. But in the beginning, it was sometimes it's like you meet a friend one day, like a new person one day, and then the next day you have to find them in a crowd of Chinese people, and it's just like, oh my god, where are they? And then you see them waving their hands at you because, I mean, you're the only foreign guy with hairy legs and giant eyebrows in the entire crowd of short Asian people, you know. So yeah. It's like, of course they can find you.
Of course everybody's gonna recognize that guy.
Yeah, but like I would think it's kind of like that, but with voices, you know. It's like you're not used to hearing that language so much, so like to hear the little details, it's hard sometimes, you know. And I mean, like, I think people, yeah, like it's just, you gotta realize that when you're not used to something, it's hard to look at the details. I mean, that's for anything, right?
Yeah, it's one of the first steps to doing anything, is to start general and then get more specific.
Yeah, exactly. Like in the beginning, when you're a kid, you learn the colors. You learn green, blue, yellow, red, orange, purple, white, and black, and then you start learning things like aquamarine and teal. What's the difference between those two? You know? Like, so I think that's the same thing with listening to different distinct voices in other languages. It's like if you haven't
understand why this is
if you haven't
cutting out on me.
If you haven't really, really familiarized yourself with a language, then it's hard to distinguish the details.
Okay. My network is shitting the bed, so I think we may want to just call it, because I'm starting to get like one word every 5 seconds.
Oh shit. Okay, well, let's cut it off, and then I'll fix it later on. We'll just have to do claps again, and I'll shift this operation maybe outside.
Okay.
All right, and let's just pick it up where we were. We were talking about the difference in the discrepancy between accents in other languages. Like, and you heard everything I said, right?
Yeah, sometimes. I think so. I know we were talking about...
pretty much summarizing it one more time, just like that it was... Let's see. You have to be familiarized with a language to hear the details.
Yes, that's what we were on. Yep. Where it all sounds the same until you actually can understand it a little bit.
Yeah.
To really hear the differences.
For me now in English and Mandarin at least, I hear the discrepancies very acutely. But in other languages, like in Cantonese, I can hear it okay-ish if it's very obvious, but like there's still some little things that are hard for me. And in other language, actually, in all the languages I speak, I can hear it it's pretty obvious to me. Maybe Swedish is harder for me, but for the 3 Chinese languages I speak, it's very obvious. Yeah.
I wonder if it's easier for voice actors to learn languages.
I would imagine it's easier for them to learn accents, but not the language itself, because you have to learn a different logic.
That's true.
To learn a language, but the accent, I wouldn't be surprised that they could speak a perfect accent in any language. You know?
Yeah, that they actually knew they could pick out the differences, the accent-wise. That part of their brain would probably be well trained.
Yeah, exactly. So, but what was the other thing I was going to say? I think it's also pretty interesting that like people like Justin Roiland can go between 2 voices and have a conversation with yourself. You know?
I mean, that one episode of Rick and Morty that's just them at the Rick world, basically. That's just he's the only one who talks in that episode. It's just Justin Roiland talking to himself for 30 minutes.
Oh, I never actually thought about that.
It's just Rick's and Morty's. He's the only one talking.
Yeah.
It's actually insane.
Yeah, that's interesting. That is pretty interesting. But like you've seen him like just like doing, like he'll do he's done the whole thing, like people will be like, yeah, just do a conversation between Rick and Morty, and he'll just sit there and just do an improv conversation like that. It's fascinating to listen to.
Awesome to watch. We talked about this earlier already, but I had another thought about the character impersonating another character. Chris Sabat, who does the voice for Vegeta and All Might in the American version of Dragon Ball Z and My Hero Academia, was asked at a panel one time, I've only seen this recording once, to do the catchphrases for each people with the other voice. So he did All Might's. He did one of All Might's phrases, something plus ultra in Vegeta's voice, and then he had something Vegeta said in All Might's voice. And after he was done, he was like, "That was the worst thing you could have asked me to do. I feel terrible that I've done that." Like, it just feels fucking weird. And I was like, that must be such a weird thought to have like a line said by somebody else, because it's like another person is talking.
Yeah.
Like
I wonder how different they feel talking in those voices, because like I would think, and the only connections I can make is with language here a lot of times, but speaking Chinese, speaking Mandarin, speaking Cantonese, and speaking English to me are three different people.
Really? That's interesting.
Like, because when I'm speaking English, I feel like, actually even in English I'll switch between characters. Like in Mandarin I switch between characters too. Like just in everyday life. Like a lot of times with English I switch between like being kind of intellectual and just being like cool, chill hippie.
Oh, I was gonna say goofy.
And goofy too. Like I have a lot of different like personalities I just kind of flow through, in Chinese a lot of times I like to be cutesy in Chinese for some reason. I don't know, I think it's just like the thing right now guys are doing here.
Interesting.
It's just like just like kind of being more girly. I think a lot of even in America I think guys are starting to become a little more girly with their actions, or being okay with just
with femininity, I think is what it is. Because the masculine culture is trying to step away from being hyper masculine to being like, it's okay to be like a person and not just be this, hard toned, non emotional man.
Yeah. Which I think there are some things to be said about, being, hard sometimes, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah, like maybe another time.
But for the most part with English, I feel like my main mode would be kind of silly, kind of chill, hippie. And then with Mandarin, I kind of am more I think my main mode is kind of being cutesy and kind of like almost like a soothsayer, maybe I would say, like a I wouldn't know how to explain that. Someone that like a leader or something like that.
Somebody charismatic.
Yeah, maybe like that. But a lot of times it's more that I'm cutesy and kind of, I would say cutesy. But then in Cantonese, I'm more like, I would say I'm more like, I don't know what maybe my Cantonese personality hasn't really shown itself as much, but I definitely feel a shift in thought process between the different languages, You've never heard of that? People feel like that they switch personalities when they switch languages.
I had not heard that before. That is something completely new to me. It's very interesting. Mm-hmm. Very cool. Do you think that voice actors ever forget what their original voice is?
Well, I don't think so.
I don't think so either. It feels like,
I wouldn't think so.
Man, the original voice is such a phenomenon to me that you just speak, that everybody just speaks a little different. Just the way it is, just to naturally speak, and then every other way you talk, you have to kind of manipulate your voice to do something. I like to talk a little deeper.
Well, is that because...
Like if I want to be more masculine.
I don't know. I wonder how much... what the balance between nature and nurture is there. Because, perhaps we're... A lot of times we're just imitating our parents and the people that we grew up with.
Maybe we're all just voice acting constantly.
Yeah, I mean, I think... I never thought about this before, but I would say that part of it is nature, like that your body structure has, at least your facial structure has, or like all of your your talking organs have been structured naturally in a way that makes you speak how you speak. So, for instance, someone with a lisp might have like a problem with their tongue or like their lips or something, and or they might be imitating that. I heard that the reason people like Castilian like Spanish people that speak Castilian Spanish, the reason why they say C's as TH is because they had a king that had a lisp and he couldn't say that sound. So
that's
then
really
everyone started imitating him. So that's why now they don't say, they say, like for instance, what's a word in Spanish that has a C in the middle of it? Or in the beginning even? I can't think of a word because I'm not very good at Spanish. Chow?
No, that's Italian.
An Italian word.
That's Italian. For some reason, I thought you were speaking Italian, not Spanish. Sorry.
Or I can't think of... I think they would say like cerveza. Like they would put a C... like they'll put a TH instead of a S there.
Huh.
Yeah, cerveza. I don't know. I'm not very good at Spanish, so I wouldn't know exactly if that's the case. But, you know, like, that's the other thing, you know, that, you know, you thought someone sounded cool, so you imitated how they said that, you know, and then you also have your natural inclinations of speaking, you know.
Well, I think it has to be nature and nurture at the same time, because that's how you get accents. You copy the voice around you. That's why people sound different. Even between languages, like I have a Croatian friend that he said when he speaks Croatian, his voice is very low, but when he speaks English, all of a sudden his voice gets really high and kind of nasally, actually. Mm-hmm. That's insane to me. I hadn't even thought about that. I felt like you would just have the same timbre again. Although I think my Japanese sounds a little different than my English.
Mm-hmm. Well, see, like once you get really good, it's like you start realizing you have a different thing. Like with Mandarin, I don't feel like I change registers or anything when I speak Mandarin. I feel like I keep it in the same.
I think you stay in the same vocal range.
But with Cantonese, I think I get lower. With Cantonese. Like, maybe I can try, like, if I speak Chinese right now, like, 现在我要跟你说中文，我觉得就是我用的声音是一样的，没有什么差别哈。Right? Like, does it sound, does my register doesn't sound very different, right?
It sounded basically the same, just unintelligible to me.
But if I'm not going to be as fluent in Cantonese right now, but like just listen to the register. 你比如話我而家講啲筆話好似走而好低，你覺得呢? Right? It sounds a lot lower, doesn't it?
I think it sounds pretty close to the same. I think you may drop like just a slight bit lower on the really lows, but I think you stay kind of in the same register, at least to my ears.
But I think it's because Cantonese has lower tones in it. Like you have 6 or you can even say 9 tones in Cantonese as opposed to the 4 or 5 that are in Mandarin. So like I think that has a one thing to do with it. But Cantonese, I always feel like Cantonese is utilizing the entire mouth as opposed to English and Mandarin, which seem to be much more controlled and more frontal centered, you know? Yeah. But see, that's one really interesting phenomenon that I've heard throughout, like talking to other people. Like, yeah, and then for me with Swedish, I feel like there's no switch there. For me, I think it's the language that really brings out different registers, not really like the switching, you know? I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what it is. What is well, I mean, is there anything else we want to say? Like,
not really. I think we're closing on the end. I think we should go through our fun little scripts here that I have compiled from our lovely fun thing that we use at Botnik the Botnik word generator. If you want to do fun stuff like this, you can go to Botnik. Not sponsored. But yeah, so
it is fun.
I've made 3 short scenes for us, so we can try a couple of different voices. And how I compiled these scripts is I made a custom script on Botnik's website. I went and I pulled the scripts from the first 5 episodes of Naruto, One Piece, Dragon Ball Z, Bleach, and My Hero Academia. Put them all in a text file, uploaded them to the website, and the AI did all the work for me. So I just put a bunch of words together that I think made sentences with some words from those shows. So it's a little bit interesting to combine a bunch of the stuff together. But I think it'll be fun. Funimation, consider this our audition tape. If you happen to find this, feel free to reach out. You need us to provide a voice.
Exactly. And 4 kids. If 4 kids wants me, like I'm.
Does 4
totally,
kids still exist?
But I don't know, but they're gonna have to be okay with me smoking and
holding guns.
Swear, holding guns and watching and reading pornos every day, just like all at the same time. Oh, also I take showers with straight brandy, so they're gonna have to be okay with that too. Like they're gonna have to. They're gonna have to. And I can't just have the cheap shit. Like, I shower in high quality brandy.
No cheap stuff.
Yeah. No cheap stuff. I have to bathe my body in high quality brandy every day. Okay, so like with this thing, so what first scene, what kind of voice should I do? What do you think?
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this voice. This is the voice that I'm going to do. So if you want to bounce off this voice...
I'll also do a voice like this. I'll do this voice. Yeah.
It's going to be very hard to tell who we are because you can't see our faces.
Or maybe I can do a little lower like this. I can do this voice.
All right. I think we got it. I think we nailed it.
All right. Scene 1. Go, Cody.
All right. What happens after Kankuro cannot afford to kill him?
Yeah, they started taking action and Sakura isn't going outdoors. Kankuro immediately forced someone to read the first trading exercise.
Judging from that hole being accepted, everything sure takes this desert for Ichiraku ramen noodles. Hurry! Iruka is really merciless and incredible.
Oh, he's better than Sasuke. Watch from the hidden land and turn his village secret shadow to become my Sharingan. Yep. End of scene. Like you went into your regular voice.
Did I at the end? I felt like I still had. I had my I had my mouth all curled up like this, so I was doing a little bit of a voice.
But your brain, I think, wanted to go back into your regular voice.
That happens with me. I'll start really strong, and then my brain will be like, "Okay, I'm tired of holding on to this."
Yeah, I understand that with my, what is it? I think I usually do that with my British accent or my Australian accent. Like, it seems like my British accent, Australian accent, Indian accent, and what is it? And what is it? The Jamaican accent. You know, we're not speaking my Jamaican accent, man. It just slowly becomes something else, man. Yeah.
It's very hard to keep up.
It's so hard to keep up, man. I don't know how to do it, man. I just add man to the end of everything. Maybe I'll try to do a Jamaican accent for this next one.
Okay. It is really it's a workout a little bit for your face to get like the right structure to speak in certain accents. I think this is what I'm going to do for my next one. It's like a Sean Connery, but not quite.
Connery.
I think this is what I'm going to do next. I'm going to get very...
All right, so... yeah, all right. Okay, let's do scene 2 then.
Scene 2, begin. What should we trade him? This guy named Morgan is going against considerable spirits.
As well as his power may be. Luffy is in damage after other Saiyans call him a hollow pirate. That boy... is going around in through this place.
You don't remember anything from yesterday. Gohan, which still decided he is so much stronger than anything. Gohan instinctively defied scratching.
Close. Now listen up. Captain Luffy, it's your brother, and it's easier than anyone. Gohan distracted me personally somehow, but you don't kill anyone as well as investigators.
I don't think I maintained mine at all. I think I was all over the place. I'm never gonna get hired this way.
Yeah, you're never gonna. You gotta. See, you gotta train your brain, man.
Gotta train my brain.
Stick and carrot. What you gotta do? Yeah, so what you gotta do? Get a stick, get a carrot, give yourself a lobotomy, and whenever you do something wrong, you stick the stick into your brain, and then whenever you do something right, you stick the carrot into your brain.
Oh,
and then
see.
After a while, your brain will be like, oh, if I want to have a delicious carrot, then I should do the right thing and not the bad thing.
Positive
that makes
and negative reinforcement. Truly.
Yeah, exactly.
Really genius.
Because that's what's good for people, is sticking baby carrots into their cranium, and then they will just learn how to be smart. That's how I learned how to be smart. I started taking baby carrots. Put them into every orifice that could... Well, it could be the nose, it could be the ears, any orifice that can get it to the brain directly. That's okay. It's all good, Oh, that reminds me, I've been watching a lot of Pawn Stars lately.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I've been watching it on YouTube. And it's just like it's all the same. It's always
every
like
time,
this some
every
guy.
episode.
It's like, yeah. It's here. Let me give you like a little rundown of what every episode of Pawn Stars is. It's just like some guy. It's like Mike Turner comes into the Pawn Stars. It's like, yeah, today I have my grandfather's shoe buckle. He's been passing it out through our family for generations. Family for generations. Family for generations. And yeah, he gave it to my dad, and my dad gave it to me, and now I'm kind of in an economic place that's not good. I need some money for it, so I'm hoping I can get about $15,000 for it. Yeah. And then he brings it to the pawn shop and puts it in. It's like, hey, Rick always makes some stupid joke it's like, oh, what are you, a swashbuckler? You bring that into my shop? Ha ha ha! And then he laughs at his own joke because he's bald. Right. And then the guy puts it's like, yes, I have I believe is a 10th century Roman shoe buckle. And he's like, oh wow, if this is the real deal. But it'll cut to like another scene of him talking to the camera. It's like, if this is a real deal, this is a cool piece that I would love to have in my collection. And I just need to find the right price for it. And then it's like, oh, so yeah, what do you know about it? And it's like, yeah, my dad had it and blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, oh, okay. Well, and then then Rick will say something. It's like, oh, the Romans were in the sea, and then they had made Atlantis, and they had to have special boots to walk around underwater. And it was only these buckles. Yeah, it was only these buckles that could do that. And then the guy would be like, oh, yeah, I didn't know that. It's like, what's the price of that? It's like $15,000. Yeah, I don't know much about this, so I'm gonna have to call my guys to look at this, my shoe buckle expert. He's like, oh yeah, and it's like, why don't you hang around and then we'll wait. And then I cut to, and it's like, yeah, hello, yeah, look at the shoe buckle. And it's like, man, this is a really cool piece. Like, this is what they used back in the swashbuckling days of Atlantis. And then he's like, yeah, so yeah, is it real? That's what I'm wondering. And then it's like, oh yeah, it's totally real. Like you look at the rust marks here, and then look, there's a small indentation, EV, that stands for everlasting virtue. And that's what the Romans believed in all the time, because the gods. And then he's like, oh, well, thank you. So what are you thinking the price is? Like, well, these things have been going in auction for about $15. It's like, not 15,000? No, just 15. It's like, well, thanks anyway. It's like, well, it's like, and then the Mike Turner, the guy that brought in the shoe buckle, will be like, Rick will be like, so what are you looking to get out of it? And it's like 15,000. It's like, there's no money to be made at 15,000. There's no money to be made. And he's like, what? I can give you $7. I can give you $7. He's like, but can you meet me in the middle? Can we do just 7,500? It's like, there's no money to be made at 7,500. There's no money to be made there. It's like, the most I can't do a penny more is $7.50. $7.50. What do you say? Well, okay, I can do that. It's like, I can do $7.50. Okay, why don't we meet you up in the front there, and we can do some paperwork. That's every episode of Pawn Stars, pretty much. I know.
Please clap. That was amazing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You even got a whole backstory for the shoe buckle. I'm impressed beyond belief. Amazing.
That's usually what happens. It's just like, it's always like stuff like that. But there are some really cool stuff that came.
I've seen some pretty cool stuff. I've seen like full guitars that were pretty dope that came through there.
Dude, the coolest thing I've seen is the Bira gun. Have you ever heard of this thing?
No.
The Bira gun.
All right,
you should look it up afterwards.
Okay, I'll look it up afterwards. I was gonna say we're either gonna talk about the Bira gun or we're gonna do this last scene, because then we probably got to get going.
BIRA, Bira gun. It's like a machine turret from, I forgot what war, but it was made in what country? Myanmar?
Yeah. Before it was Burma?
It might be Myanmar. It was Burma before, but
it was Burma before Myanmar?
Myanmar now.
I think you're right. Myanmar.
Yeah, or it might have been Bhutan or Nepal. I think it's Nepalese. Yeah, it's Nepalese, but it's super, super cool. Check it out. But let's do this last scene then.
Okay. I think I'm gonna do a accent like this. It's a little bit of a semi New Zealand accent, but not really. It's kind of just have a little bit of fun, a little bit of a good time.
Maybe I can try Cockney accent.
All right.
I'm not very good at Cockney accent.
I think that I might get a little bit confused because I'm gonna bleed into yours, but I'm gonna try. Start scene 3. Rice balls have never chased Shen before. Luffy isn't just what happened after eating.
What happened after that sorry Bemorn cried? That guy named Rani from yesterday was quite uncommon, Shirikon.
We don't worry, there are still regulations that earnestly press you. Are you doing meaningless studying of his power arts?
Oh, sorry, but now Butter is going to Yamcha will probably die. I should fight against the Butter, and then I'll be expecting you to stand there mocking breakfast.
It's fantastic. I think that was really good. I think I lost mine in the middle there. I don't know what I was doing.
I think you do a pretty good Kiwi accent.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate that.
It's hard for me. That accent's I'm not. It's I'm probably faking most of that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that.
It's not very natural. This one I get a little bit. You kind of just close your mouth a lot, and then you keep the accent very high on your tongue. To
me it sounds kind of more like a posh Australian to me.
Yeah, a little bit.
Is that how you see?
It's just this little bit of a Oceania accent. It's kind of combines all the little places, so you don't feel bad. Just throw whatever you want.
You do, your accent, your Australian accent just sounds like, I'm pretty sure that's the accent you just used for a long time in your life, I
think so. For about 2 years, I think I had that Australian accent a little bit. Just fell right into it because I was in 5th grade.
Just 2 years?
Yeah, I was from 5th to 7th grade, and then I moved to Hawaii, where I had it for probably 6 months after that. Because I remember people being like, "Oh, come talk to Cody. He's got an accent." We're in 7th grade. Cody's got an accent. Come talk to him.
Because, like, you just sound so natural when you speak that accent, you know?
I do get to freshen that up a little bit because we talk to our Australian friends every once in a while.
Like, when you speak to Australians, do you think you speak more American, or do you speak more
I think I speak more American. I don't know if I fall into it. I'd have to ask them.
Like, what was the other thing? Like, man, I forgot what I was going to say, actually.
Well, but, maybe it'll come up next week when we talk.
Yeah.
I think we can close out for the day.
Yeah.
Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, all that fun stuff at OtherPondPod. That's us on Twitter.
Yeah.
You got anything to plug, Laz?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Not sure. Yeah.
All right.
What are you laughing at?
Rate our podcast on iTunes if you listen to it there. Or if you don't listen to it there, go there and rate the podcast anyway.
Yeah.
Give us 5 stars or 1 star. Whatever you want to give us, just give us some feedback. We'd love it.
Give us 5 stars. I'd enjoy that.
I'd feel good about 5 stars.
1 star for every wish that you have in your dreams. You know.
All right.
That's how the achievement happens.
That's poetic, Laz.
Yeah, poetry is the soul of the wind.
The wit.
The wind.
Oh.
Poetry is the soul of the wind.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Well, let's jump into the pond and swim across to the other shore.
Jump in. Maybe you should put like a splashing sound effect at the end.
Oh, well, I could try that. Like, I can, take a stone and throw it into a river. Well, actually, maybe a pond.
Just record that. Yeah, just throw it into a pond. Yeah, that sounds right.
There you go. Like a plop. Or actually, I could probably get the same sound just from. No, I don't want to say that on the podcast. That's icky.
All right, let's cut it there. All right, quick, get out of here.
Well, see. Yep. Bye.